Previously, we saw that Mop-Han was somehow able to awaken the rare fire, and even more rare lighting talents, but he has decided to keep that a secret from everyone. Mop-Han would later manage to rescue his classmates during a field trip, but the chief instructor would begin to wonder if Mop-Han was hiding something. The story continues as we see that 2 months have passed, and Mop-Han credits his pending with increasing his progress by 20%. He noticed that his classmates' level 1 fire magic barely damaged the wolf, but his level 2 fire magic did major damage. This makes him curious about what level thunder magic will be able to reach since thunder is the strongest element. He realizes that he isn't strong enough yet, since he can't rely solely on magic in the fight, and needs to improve faster. He remembers that his pendant will be able to upgrade itself if it is fed large amounts of energy, and if it gets to the spirit level, it will speed up his progress by 1%. The stuff dependent needs to feed on costs money, so he begins to consider if he should become a bounty hunter since they are all well paid, and he will gain combat experience. The next day, Mop-Han goes to the bounty hunter's hall, and finds 2 men looking over their options for hunter jobs. The jobs are far too difficult for inexperienced mages, so one of the men wonders if he should join the monster hunters instead. Since the salary is good, and they have a roof above their heads, the man is told that he would never be hired as the monster hunters only hire the best of the best. Mop-Han sees that there are a lot of people attempting to join the monster hunters, and is told to not bother interviewing since it would only be a waste of time. Someone as young as Mop-Han wouldn't stand a chance, since the hunters fight real monsters. However, the man explains that what is most important is the talent you have, and if someone has the fire talent, they might have a better chance at being hired even if they are very inexperienced. Mop-Han asks about those who have the lighting talent, and the man can only laugh since only 1 in 1,000 get that talent. He explains that every team would want them regardless of experience, but they wouldn't even need to go to the hall since the rich and powerful would have snapped them up already. We then see that the monster hunters are becoming frustrated with the weak applicants they are seeing, as their leader only wants powerful, experienced elite mages. The man from earlier waits in the interview line, and is disappointed to see Malfin in the line as well, since he knows that it's his first time at the hall. In one question, Mop-Han lies, and tells him that he has already graduated and that his name is Fonmo. The hunters explain that they are only looking for mid-level hunters, but Fonmo isn't even certified. However, Fonmo proves to them that he has the lightning talon, and the hunter captain reveals himself to welcome him to their team. Fonmo explains that he is not certified, but the captain says he will get it for him. Fonmo has no experience, but the captain says he will gain some. Fonmo has only achieved a level, but that actually impresses the captain since it's harder to upgrade the lightning talent. He is introduced to the other members, but is interrupted by news of a monster on the loose. The captain tells Fonmo to wait for them to return, but he asks that he go along since he is already part of the team. It is revealed that the disturbance is happening at his sister's school. Mop-Han can't help but worry when it is explained that a student has gone missing and Zenzaya doesn't answer her phone. The team split up, and Fonmo was tasked with checking the cafeteria. While there, Zenzaya would finally return his call and explain that she was safe, but a witness says another student had been going into the cafeteria when she was leaving. Malfin explains that she should worry about taking care of herself, but just as the monster appears behind him, Fonmo can barely manage to avoid its attacks, and other hunters make their way to him after sensing the monster. There is nowhere for Mop-Han to run, so he determines he must fight it. Just as the monster unleashes its attack, the rest of the team arrives and demonstrates their differences in strength and experience. The captain uses level fire magic to deal massive damage, putting the monster down. However, Sayaki becomes a bit careless and isn't able to defend Chai in time, but Fama's lightning ability saves her. The captain is furious with Sayaki for not being prepared since it's her responsibility to protect the others using her water talent. Fonmo is then praised for his quick reaction and promoted to a full-time member of the team. Mufon must contain his excitement when he realizes that a promotion means a higher salary and maybe even some bonuses. The rat spirit emerges from its corpse and is consumed by Malfin's pendant, and no one else seems to be able to see it. Unfortunately, the rat spirit is weak and doesn't do much to upgrade the pendant. It is then revealed that the team could not find the missing girl, but there is evidence that other monsters had dragged her through a deep tunnel that was found. The team debates whether or not to go in after them, and determines that the girl might already be dead. The captain decides to alert the Association of Magical Society. Since it's something they cannot handle later, it's explained that the association has taken over the matter, and the captain once again praises Fonmo after originally underestimating him. They tease Chai for owing her life to him, but determined family must already be taken since they found his phone with dozens of missed calls from a girl. That night it is revealed to have been his sister calling since she had heard the fight over the phone and was worried sick. He reassures her that he can take care of himself and gives her a play-by-play of his victorious battle. The next day Farmer receives his first check, and it is explained that their decisive action has earned them a bonus. Elsewhere, we see that Muhi is a bit of a pervert when he goes to inform Yang that he has been called to see his father. Muhi is impressed with his progress so far, but Yang believes he has not been progressing fast enough. Muhi explains that he has reached level magic much faster than his peers, and won't be long before reaching level. Yang is growing impatient though, since that will take at least a year, and compares himself to Ningxiu. Muhi reminds him though that Ningxiu is an exceptional person, and he should not compare himself to her. Furthermore, his focus should only be on teaching Mofan a lesson, but Yang believes that he is not a worthy opponent. When speaking to his father, Yang explains that he wishes he had chosen a more worthy opponent. Mizeo agrees that it is beneath him to deal with a loser like Mofan, but explains that it is what the principal wanted. Furthermore, it is what must be done as his first step in controlling the city, and this captures his interest. Mizeo goes on to explain that one person every year is chosen to practice in something called the Sacred Spring at the school, and all the old families desperately want that opportunity. Mizeo wants Yuang to display his overwhelming power against Mofan to send a message to everyone else. Mui explains that Ningxiu is the true heir to the family, and that Yuang is only meant to be a stepping stone for her. Bai wonders if Mofan will earn the right to practice in the Sacred Spring if he is victorious against Yuang, but is told that it will never happen. We then get a glimpse of a bright light that seems to emanate from a one-eyed monster in class. Mofan must explain that he hasn't been around lately because he has been busy saving this city. When Zhang wonders if Zhou has a thing for Mofan, Zhou asks if he is free that night, and Mofan thinks about how she must have fallen for him when he saved her from the wolf. He plans to let the poor girl down easy by explaining that their priority at that age is to study, but agrees to steer that night anyway. That night, he wonders how odd of a place that is for a first date, and Zola explains that is where the tremors had occurred. Her grandmother has been feeling nightly tremors coming from there, and the place is believed to be haunted, but she refuses to move. The reason so asked Mofan to come was so that he could investigate, since he is the top-ranked mage in school. Which seems to disappoint him a bit. He makes his way into the abandoned building and thinks about how she was smart to ask him for help, since he is one of the monster hunters and has managed to bag monsters. So far, he uses some revealing powder to see footsteps of a monster, and so wonders if they should inform a hunter, but Mopon knows that won't be necessary. Just then, the one-eyed wolf monster appears as it's finished up a meal, and Zoe is terrified as the two of them are only students with no chance of fighting it. This wolf is twice as big as the ones that have been shown in class, and Mofan explains that there are several homeless there that the wolf may have been feeding on. Zoe wants to run away, so Mofan tells her to go to her grandmother, evacuate her block, and call the police there. Zoe doesn't wait though, and begins to call the cops there, which only manages to attract the monster. Mofan tells her to follow through with his instructions, but she doesn't want to leave him to die. He manages to convince her though, and is left to fight the monster alone. This wolf is much stronger than the one before, and Mopon only manages to survive its attack because of his magical armor. We then see that Chai, the hunter, who is also a member of the Mu family, has received a Fanma signal, and Zoe directs them to the building where her friend Mopon is. Mopon prepares to use his fire attack just as Chai and Yuang arrive to subdue the monster. Chai has only seen Fanmo with a mask on, so she doesn't recognize him, but remembers Mofan from her memory long ago. She explains how he is the one who insulted the Mu family to Yuang, and he can't believe how much of a coward he is for running without hesitation. Chai contacts the captain, informing him that the monster seems to have mutated after absorbing a power leak from the sacred spring, and requests they find Fanmo immediately so he can use his lightning magic to sedate it. Mopon changes into his disguise and explains that, as a student, his talent is fire, and as a hunter, his talent is lightning. Keeping them separate is important, so that no one knows he has more than one talent. The captain requires that everyone focus, since the mutated wolf can kill them all in an instant. The problem is that ice and lightning alone won't be able to kill the beast, and if the captain were to use his fire magic, that would only free the monster from its ice prison. Their main goal now is to keep the wolf from escaping and attacking the city while they wait for help from the association. However, that proves to be difficult as the monster breaks free, and they realize that it has begun to evolve into an even stronger monster. Thanks for watching part 3.